Bum, ba, bum, bum, bum. Good morning and welcome to the WSJM Morning Show video live stream edition. I'm Ken Lundberg, just winging it here.
Just winging it.
Just winging it.
We need video live stream, like tee-up music.
I could do that. We could do that.
I think we should.
We can do that. We can do a special video intro. We could have the WSJM Morning Show dancers come out.
Can we get Witkowski in on the dancers?
No.
We
want to attract people to the show.
Oh, good point.
We don't want to drive them away.
Good point.
No, I'm thinking maybe in my spare time at some point, because I have so much spare time.
Right.
Maybe in my spare time, I can manipulate AI to design something for us.
Okay.
Because we don't have the money, we don't have the budget to hire dancers.
Well, but we could generate them.
We could generate them on AI.
Right.
What kind of stage should we put them on? Should it be a big open grassy field with the sunshine coming in the background, or should it be a dark and mysterious nightclub?
I think it should be a beach, so we could kind of
kicking the sand around.
Yeah, kind of throw the beer in there.
Should they do the can?
If they can,
you can. The can. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to the video live stream. Who knows where the show is going to go today? We've got purse thieves that have been captured. The exclusive content here. Spoiler alert. Kristi Noem got her purse stolen last week.
Oh yeah, they caught the people, right?
They caught. Well, and that's what's. I can't wait to get into this story because number one, she's the Secretary of Department of Homeland Security,
right?
And so because she's that close to the president and she has such an important job, she has a lot of Secret Service protection around her.
Correct.
And yet still, she's out in a public venue and her purse is stolen from under her chair. Seriously? Mm-hmm. How does that happen? How does somebody get that close to her chair? Where
you would hope that would not be.
I want to know how big the purse was.
I bet you it was
because I've seen various size purses.
Okay.
Some of them are just little clutches.
Yeah.
Some of them are like, I could go to vacation to Cancun for a week bag. I don't think she's the latter. But I don't think she's the former either.
So was it a employee or who?
Well, we'll get into the story.
I need to know.
Well, and not only were there not one person, two people caught.
Oh.
Two people.
So it was a whole syndicate.
My son Stuart, for some reason, asked me about the mob and the mafia yesterday. He was asking me, what was their deal? What were they doing? And so I started. Well, first off, I said, have you watched The Godfather or Godfather Part 2 yet? He said, no.
Oh, wow.
I said, I'm not sure you're my son.
Right.
You got to watch this.
Come on.
Stuart. These are classic movies, timeless movies that really help explain a lot of whatever they were doing in the movies.
Right. A lot of mentality
of the
time.
Mentality of the time. This is the zeitgeist of the time.
Yes.
Okay. How's your upper lip?
It's itching a little bit.
Yeah. Does that mean it's healing?
No.
Okay. We've got
means the blood is starting to go over the edge of the Band-Aid.
Oh no. Is that why you were sneezing?
No,
All right. We'll be back in a moment with more. Thanks for joining us. It's the WSJM Morning Show.
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
7:05, it's the WSJM Morning Show for Monday, April 28th. It's the last Monday of April 2025 ever.
This is it. It's almost only 7 o'clock. It's almost over.
Yeah, and we have what's coming up next month? May. So we'll have the Mayflowers all about. It's supposed to be nice today. We're supposed to have a high temperature somewhere in the 70s under partly sunny skies. Inland, you're going to get a close to a high of 77 degrees. What a beautiful day. What a gorgeous day to be outside.
unfortunately, that's not going to be our case.
No. South winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight's forecast, partly cloudy, a 30% chance of showers, a low around 67 overnight. So not really that cold at all. South winds gusting up to 30 miles per hour, otherwise 10 to 20 miles per hour. So we're keeping the wind generation going. Tuesday's forecast, tomorrow, partly cloudy, a 60% chance of showers and storms, a high around 78 degrees tomorrow, although the west winds are going to gust up to 45 miles per hour.
Ooh,
so if you're near the lake tomorrow, it's going to be chilly.
Yeah.
Going to be chilly. Wednesday's forecast, partly sunny, 20% chance of showers and a low of 44, a high of 62. Thursday, moving into mostly cloudy day on Thursday, 70% chance of showers and a high of 67 degrees. Some of the news that we're following from the WSJM newsroom this morning, the Berrien County GOP says it's ready to sue the local American Legion if the venue cancels their upcoming January 6th themed event. The county's Republican Party reacting to controversy stirred up over their event set for May 9th, featuring January 6th defendants and 2 men charged and later acquitted in a plot to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Shortly after the event was scheduled, venue coordinators at the Stevensville American Legion tried to cancel, reportedly, because they're not supposed to host political events. But the Berrien County GOP says this is an effort. It's underway on social media to sabotage the event and disparage the Berrien County GOP in the process. They issued a statement to us saying, noting a few dates and what they had done to prepare the venue organizers for what event they were planning to hold. They said on April 14th, Berrien GOP officials said they were contacted by the venue in an attempt to cancel. A Berrien County GOP official then told the American Legion a cancellation would constitute a breach of contract under Michigan law, and that under such circumstances, they would be entitled to recover damages. Now, we reached out to the American Legion Post locally. We were told the leadership there was seeking guidance from their national organization before commenting. We have the Berrien County GOP's full statement posted at our website. It's WSJM.com. Other news involving veterans. Berrien County Veterans Service Director Maureen Adams was in Lansing last week to testify about cuts to veterans programs before the Michigan House Subcommittee on Military and Veterans Affairs. The subcommittee invited veterans advocates from all over the state, and Adams told members about problems meeting the needs of veterans in Berrien County. She said the county has about 8,440 veterans, placing it 17th among Michigan's 83 counties. However, changes to a state grant formula have made it harder, she says, to serve them.
We had just submitted a grant order change request to hire a full-time support staff when the recalculation adjustment was announced. For Berrien, it was a 41.8% reduction of $55,000.
Adams also said some reporting requirements for funding that covers things like events are too onerous. For example, she said she had trouble covering chair rentals for a recent Vietnam commemoration. She asked lawmakers to help the state simplify things for veterans.
Berrien County is grateful for the problem of needing more support staff so we can have more time to provide quality work on claims and conduct outreach to ensure more veterans can connect with their benefits. That is what the grant is for, after all.
Adams said the veteran population in Berrien County went down from 2019 to 2023, and yet expenses for veterans benefits have gone up. The Berrien County Clerk's Office will hold an event soon to offer free election inspector training. That's coming up in June. Berrien County Clerk Stacy Lohr-Porter tells us election inspectors are the people you meet upon walking into a polling station. They're the ones who take your driver's license and check it. They help you sign in to vote.
They check voters in. We look up voters to make sure they're in the right location and that they're a qualified voter to vote in that jurisdiction. They issue ballots. They instruct the voters how to tabulate the ballots in the machine.
And Lohr-Porter says they generally watch over the polling place to ensure all is running smoothly. She says there's a great need for more election staff in our county.
We had a big retirement movement in 2020 after the 2020 elections. That was with COVID and stuff. It was really hard on a lot of people. A lot of our inspectors that had been doing a very long time had decided it was time for them to step away. We had a few more retire in 2024, but we are always in need of more people.
Lohr-Porter says just about anyone can volunteer to help out. You have to be age 16 or older. The free and open training session will be June 3rd, 6 p.m. at the Berrien County Conference Center on Napier Avenue in Denton Township. We have more information if you want to check it out on our website at WSJM.com. And finally, opponents of a plan to restart the Palisades nuclear power plant are disappointed a federal panel has denied a hearing on petitions challenging that plan. Just last week, it was announced Palisades owner Holtec International was getting another $47 million from the federal government to restart the plant. However, Kevin Camps with opposition group Beyond Nuclear says area groups are frustrated after their request for another hearing to review the plan was denied.
A recent analysis by Dave Lockbaum, who is retired from the nuclear safety program at Union of Concerned Scientists, placed Palisades at something like 84th out of 105 reactors in the country. So his analysis was they're more like in the bottom rung of the industry, actually.
Holtec officials say before its 2022 shutdown, Palisades was ranked in the Nuclear Regulatory Commission's highest safety category and was a top performing plant in the industry. Palisades is set to be restart in October, becoming the first U.S. nuclear plant to restart after being decommissioned. 7:11 is the time. It's the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. We've got sports coming up next with Dave Wolf. We'll talk a lot about a little bit of things. No, we'll talk a little bit about a lot of things.
There you go.
That's what we'll do. We'll talk about Kristi Noem, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary. I don't know if she's getting her purse back, but the perps have been caught.
Oh,
yeah,
there
we'll,
you go.
We'll talk about that in a minute. Purse thieves. We'll talk about it in a few minutes on the WSJM Morning Show.
Another blown fourth quarter lead, but this time with the help of an on-call in the Pistons' final shot.
I'm looking at that story. We've been following the story for a couple of days. The first one that we talked about, our local news this morning, about the American Legion and the Berrien County GOP.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a little confounded as to what exactly is going on. Because if you think about it, if the American Legion has a policy, we don't host political events, and yet a political event is scheduled there, not only a political event, but one that involves I think it's a hot topic.
Definitely.
The January 6th stuff and the plot to kidnap the governor. How does this get scheduled? And then when you try to cancel, you threaten a lawsuit against a veterans organization?
Well, how does it even get scheduled? Like, how did we get
I don't know.
here?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because did they not disclose what it was about?
They said
scheduled?
The Berrien County GOP, they issued a lengthy statement last week, and it had several bullet points in it. Let me pull it up because I've got a copy of it. Hang on a sec. Okay, so yeah, here it is. So they issued a statement saying the Berrien County GOP, let's see, April 2nd. On April 2nd, chairwoman of the Berrien County GOP, who is a member of the venue, so she's a member of the American Legion. That's how she got it.
Okay.
Met with representatives of the venue to inquire about the availability of the venue for a GOP event. Apparently, at that meeting, it was disclosed to the venue representatives that the event included J6 subject matter. Don't know if they said January 6th, but on the check they wrote to pay for the venue, or at least put a deposit, I'm not sure which. It was a deposit. They wrote in the memo line J6 event deposit. I could see how that could go under the radar.
Yeah, I could too.
So the venue had previously, this is according to the GOP, the venue had previously worked with the chairwoman to rent their space twice before for Berrien County GOP monthly meetings. Now, the monthly meetings are very different from public meetings.
Okay.
Because this is a public thing. The J6 event is a public, anyone who can attend it, who pays the ticket price, basically. Right. And they had already apparently sold out some VIP tables.
Okay.
But the signed contract, they said, included no stipulations, exclusions, or requirements with respect to the nature of the event, and none were communicated during the meeting. And so then they said, if you cancel on us, this is a breach of contract under Michigan law. I mean, them's legal fighting words.
Mm-hmm.
And so if they're going to recover any kind of damages or expenses if the venue cancels, that just doesn't sound good overall. So I'm wondering how it got to this point. I think we kind of know now.
Yeah. And
if the Berrien County GOP really thinks it's in their best interest to threaten a lawsuit against the American Legion. Doesn't seem like it.
It doesn't have that feeling of like, oh yeah, go get them.
Our veterans.
Right. Go get the veterans. You would think somebody else would open up their venue that would be more receptive to
more
that
receptive to
topic.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I understand. I mean, having worked for elected officials, you understand the delicate nature of trying to schedule an event like that. And if the event coordinator says, "Hey, I messed up. I didn't understand that we can't hold events like this. We can hold your meetings. That's fine. Those aren't open to the public. But if you're going to go out there and advertise that this political controversy is going to be held here, we would rather you not do it." You say, "Okay, we understand."
Yeah. But the fact that the head of the GOP is also in the
A member.
veterans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll continue the conversation in a minute. We've got to get some weather here. It's the WSJM morning show.
Night low. Then tomorrow, mix of the sun and clouds, but off and on showers and storms as well. High temperatures right around 78. I'm WSBT 22 Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
7:16 WSJM morning show continues. I'm just getting into all kinds of trouble on the video live stream.
Yeah, well, that's what you do.
I can imagine.
You're unfiltered and unfettered.
It's 7:17 now, and the temperature outside in Benton Harbor is 48 degrees. I see sunshine out there. It looks beautiful. It's 49 in St. Joseph, 48 degrees in South Haven, Dowagiac, 48 degrees. As we said, as we heard in the forecast, probably going to get some storms.
Yeah.
Next 24 hours or so.
Actually, they say isolated severe thunderstorms.
Yes, isolated severe thunderstorms. But that's not today. Today, we're going to enjoy the sunshine. And we're going to enjoy the WSJM morning show. I'm Ken Lundberg. Mike Weibel's over there. Next hour, we'll hear from Cornerstone Alliance. Our friends from Cornerstone will come in and talk to us about a couple of fun programs they have going on.
Awesome.
As they do every Monday. But one of the things we were talking about on the video live stream, 2 arrests have been made in the theft of a high-end Gucci bag in Washington, D.C. A high-end Gucci bag that belonged to none other than Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. If you're a purse thief, do you really want to go after the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security? They've got a couple of resources.
Yeah, I'm thinking it was one of those things where they saw the Gucci bag.
Gucci.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They grabbed it.
If you're not familiar with Gucci,
they realized whose it was. They were like, "Uh-oh."
If you're not familiar with Gucci bags, they're pretty high end. Can you look up real quick? What does a Gucci bag go for?
I will find out.
Retail price of a Gucci bag. And Gucci is not, it is spelled Gucci. I'm just thinking of everyone here because, half of our audience is probably male and they probably don't know what a Gucci bag is.
It says anywhere from $850 to $4,200.
Okay, so $4,200 can get you a pretty sweet Gucci bag, but you can get by for $800, but that's probably like your ID holder or something like that.
Right.
But important stuff. You carry important stuff in there.
At least a $2,000 purse, right?
Okay, so let's say it's a $2,000 purse. I bet she went above that.
I would say
on the over/under. I'm saying over that. The primary suspect was arrested in Washington, D.C. and is in custody. So there's a primary suspect and then there's a secondary suspect.
Uh-oh.
Believe it or not. And by the way, Washington, D.C., I know you're going to find this surprising. It is our nation's capital and everything. There's a pretty high crime right there. I don't know what it is right off the bat, but having lived there in person, I know you cannot leave anything in your vehicle. Unless they will take it. Case in point, I had a Toyota Tundra pickup truck.
Oh, nice.
It was parked. I loved it. It was so fast. I mean, it was so nice. But no, you have that thing parked on the street. And one night I got home and I forgot to take my GPS. I had one of those little suction cup GPS things.
Yeah.
I forgot to take the GPS out of the windshield. And sure enough, I got up the next morning to go to work, and I opened the car door, and it's like, oh, it seems kind of drafty in here. Oh, there seems like there's a lot of glass laying on the inside of the vehicle. Somebody had broken in, stolen a watch that I had in the glove box. Nice watch, too.
Yeah.
I was really sad about that. And a couple other things. But you can't leave anything lying around. Well, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary, Kristi Noem, left her purse lying under her chair at a restaurant, and it was swiped. And the United States Secret Service said yesterday in a news release that it had made not only one but 2 arrests in connection with this. The primary suspect was arrested in Washington, D.C. The second arrest happened in Miami.
What?
Miami, Florida. Believe it or
What
not.
did that person do?
Well, they said that person is believed to be a co-conspirator with the primary defendant and apparently able to travel pretty far, pretty fast.
Yeah.
The arrests came after the U.S. Secret Service launched an investigation to find the perpetrator who stole her bag as she ate dinner with her family on Easter Sunday.
And the helicopters descended over the house.
Yeah, all of a sudden.
Guys are coming down ropes.
Have you seen the bag? We can't spot the bag.
Clear.
A spokesperson for the Secret Service initially declined to comment on the arrest, but in a statement to CNN yesterday, Washington Field Office Special Agent in charge, Matt McCool.
What a perfect name for
Said-
an FBI agent.
Secret Service.
Service.
Secret Service agent. He's cool.
He is.
Matt, keep it McCool, would you?
He's an Irish cool guy.
Said the primary defendant is a serial offender.
Uh-oh.
A serial offender, not cereal like you eat for breakfast, but it does this all the time. We have also determined that this incident has no protective nexus to Secretary Noem or her role as Secretary of Homeland Security. In other words, protective nexus,
Right.
that means she wasn't targeted.
Right.
That's what the Secret Service wants us to know.
They just saw the bag.
That's right. The investigation revealed alleged criminal activity, including potential device and credit card fraud. Yeah. So
it's it's going to be one of those. You're sitting in jail. So what are you in for? I stole a purse. What?
I stole a purse.
I stole a purse. Well, what kind of purse did you steal to get thrown in jail?
Yeah. A Gucci bag.
It was the head of Homeland Security's purse.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Good catch.
Yeah.
Good get there. Multiple additional arrests are expected related to this. They say it's a theft ring, which recently targeted some of Washington's elite, including in the Penn Quarter area. So if you're familiar with the Pennsylvania Quarter area, the Penn Quarter area, apparently some fancy restaurants there, and where there's money, there's criminal activity.
So were they outside? Like, were they sitting outside when that happened, or were they inside the restaurant? Do you know?
I don't know. I mean, well, here it was inside the Capital Burger restaurant. I did look that up. Let's see.
Do you know where the Capital Burger restaurant is?
It's in the Penn Quarter.
Well, I know, but I mean,
hang on a second.
There.
Surveillance? No, it wasn't a thing. I don't think it was a thing when I was there. The only thing that I was thinking about is it might be like there's a chef called Spike. I think I don't know if that's his.
Okay,
but it might be his. But the Penn Quarter area is kind of that area near the Capitol.
Okay,
where you get fancy food. But I think Anyway, I've never dined there. Let's put it that way. It happened. There is surveillance footage of the incident at the Capital Burger restaurant in Washington. It showed the suspect purposefully moving close to Noem as he zeroed in on her Gucci bag that was near her feet. The thief was dressed in dark clothing. He sat down at an empty table next to Noem with his back facing her and used his left foot to slide the bag away. This guy's tricky. Huh?
Yeah.
Because I was envisioning somebody, bent down, picked up the bag, walked away. No.
Right. Dropped a napkin, picked it up with the napkin.
Yeah. So basically, he used his foot to scoot the bag away. He surveyed the restaurant before eventually picking up the bag, covering it with his jacket, and then leaving. Only when the Secretary of Homeland Security got up from the table did she realize her bag was missing. Items inside the bag included a Louis Vuitton wallet. So it's a Gucci bag, and you've got a Louis Vuitton wallet.
Are you supposed to mix brands like that?
I don't think you are, but if you do, you're going to pay a pretty penny for it. Noem's driver's license was in it. Medication. Wonder what the medication was.
I don't know.
Apartment keys, her passport, her access badge to the Department of Homeland Security, a makeup bag, some blank checks, and about $3,000 in cash. Other than it being the Homeland Security Secretary, this is a gold mine.
Oh, yeah.
Because you've got the Gucci bag.
Right.
So calculate it up. We've got, let's say $2,000. $2,000 for the Gucci bag. I'm going to say, what do you think? $400, $800 for the Louis Vuitton wallet?
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
I think safely we can say those two are $3,000.
Okay, $3,000 for the bags,
right,
and wallet. Let's see, the driver's license, no. Medication, maybe, depending on what it was, you could
Right.
sell that on the street.
Right.
You know, if it's Ritalin or something like that. Apartment keys, okay, that's not good because you have her driver's license too.
Right.
So now you can
know where it's at.
break into the place. You've got the passport, you could potentially sell that. The DHS access badge, well, if you're in a terrorist network, you could sell that.
Yeah.
I've seen some of those
I'm
movies.
sure it's deactivated though.
The makeup bag, they're going to throw that on the ground. Blank checks, that's money.
Right.
That's like a blank check
Literally.
or several of them. That's unfortunate. And about $3,000 in cash. So
Yeah.
this was a $10,000 heist.
Easy.
Easy. I mean, that's a felony.
Right.
So you're in big trouble. Let's see. The the Capitol Burger was not Spike's restaurant, by the way. It's owned by Darden Restaurants.
Oh.
That's a big chain. Yeah,
Okay.
Florida, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, don't they have like Red Lobster and stuff like that?
Is that them?
Yeah, I think that's them. They did not respond to requests for comment. The Secret Service was inside the restaurant with Noam, apparently not keeping an eye on stuff.
Especially when the guy is like slithering his foot underneath her chair to get the purse.
Hey, there's an empty table. Hey, there's a single guy who just sat down at the table next to the Secretary of Homeland Security. Hey, he's reaching under the table with his foot.
That guy's really flexible.
I mean, remember, wasn't it the Secret Service who was in charge of protecting then candidate President Trump
Yes.
when he got shot in the ear?
Yeah. And then allowed him to stand back up again. Because they're not supposed to do that either.
Secret Service. Anyway,
Their service is a secret.
the source did not specify how many agents were actually accompanying Noam or where they were inside the restaurant, because they don't like to be overshadowing,
Right.
like standing right next to. Let me look at that bite of burger that you've got there before you take it, Secretary. No, they want to be in the background. They want to blend in. Maybe they're dressed in plain clothes, whatever.
So
They want to
you-
be on
you
a
can
Joseph.
imagine the guy, whoever was in charge of that detail,
Oh yeah.
when he found out that somebody had stolen her purse,
Oh, my
was
gosh.
like, oh, this day just went south.
Yeah, come on, you guys.
Because you know you're going to get a firm talking to.
Commenting on the large, we didn't even talk about the $3,000 in her bag. Commenting on the large sum of cash that Noam was carrying immediately following the incident, a DHS spokesperson said her entire family was in town, including children and grandchildren, and she was using the $3,000 to treat her family to dinner, activities, and Easter gifts. I just have a 2-word response on that: credit card.
Right. Right.
Why are you bringing cash around like that? Maybe that's the thing. Maybe they're told for security reasons you got to have a large amount of cash on you.
Oh, it could be.
Yeah. Law enforcement experts have raised concerns about whether the incident, which involved a thief getting so close to a cabinet official and then absconding with her belongings, may have been a lapse in security. I think we covered that.
Yep.
Okay. Secret Service maintains jurisdiction over the case and intends to present its findings to a federal court in coordination with the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia.
Maybe the cash is because once you give your card, then everybody knows who you are.
Yeah, I don't want to be identified or linked to this huge purchase of Cadbury eggs.
Right.
I'm gonna pay for cash.
Cash.
Pay with cash. It's like, yep, we're buying 3,000 eggs.
Right.
Here we. Well, you
And
probably
why
think
is this
of
guy
that.
with sunglasses carrying them all for you?
two people
Yeah.
with Secret Service? I mean, they I imagine that Congress is getting back from the Easter recess.
Yeah.
I will guarantee you someone will say, we should have a hearing on this. Let's bring the
Yes.
Secret Service back in. What, again?
Right.
And they're going to make some hay off of this. You want to talk about one more?
Yeah.
I don't think this is crime, but it certainly is childish behavior
Okay.
that can hurt people's feelings.
Oh, no.
Yes. The NFL has been looking into how Shadur Sanders' private phone number was leaked and used for a prank call during day 2 of the NFL draft. Have you heard of this yet?
I have not.
Oh.
This is juicy.
As Sanders, so this is Shadur Sanders, right? He's a quarterback. As
Deion's son.
Right. As he continued to go undrafted through Friday, day 2 of the NFL draft, a video surfaced on social media of the quarterback receiving a call from someone impersonating New Orleans Saints general manager Mickey Loomis. The video has the audio of the phone call from the supposed Mickey Loomis.
Okay.
It's been a long wait, man, the person said. We're going to take you with our next pick, but you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. Sorry about that. So Deion's son gets a call saying, hey, we're going to pick you. We're from New Orleans and we're going to pick you. And sorry about that. You're just going to have to wait. Well, it wasn't really the New Orleans Saints. He really wasn't going to get picked by the New Orleans Saints.
Right.
The Atlanta Falcons have announced that the prank call placed during the second night of the draft traces to defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich. In a statement, the Falcons said that Ulbrich's 21-year-old son, Jax, unintentionally came across the draft contact phone number for Sanders. It was on an open iPad while Jax Ulbrich was visiting his parents' home.
Oh boy.
He wrote the number down with the plan to use it for a prank call, and apparently that's what he did. Per the Falcons, Jeff Ulbrich was not aware of the situation until after the call happened. The Atlanta Falcons do not condone this behavior and send our sincere apologies to Shedeur and his family. The statement reads, adding that the team has reached out to apologize to Sanders directly. The team also facilitated an apology from Jax Ulbrich to Shedeur. We have been in contact with the NFL as well and will continue to fully cooperate with any inquiries we might receive from the NFL league office.
another someone who's going to get a firm talking to.
Yeah, the Falcons say they're imposing no discipline on Jeff Ulbrich, and the statement does not apply to any other prank calls made to prospects during the draft. Apparently, this is a thing now where they're prank calling each other.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, I think Jeff is going to have a different attitude toward Jax.
Yes. Yeah. Jeff and Jax are not going to. Let's see. Shedeur said, well, by the way, Shedeur did get drafted by the Cleveland Browns in the 5th round. On Saturday. Sanders says he wasn't bothered by the prank call. He says it didn't really have an impact on me because I was like, I mean, okay, I don't feed into negativity. I don't feed into that stuff. You've seen Deion Jr.'s YouTube video. My reaction to it, I don't, you know what it is. I think it's childish. It was a childish act, but everybody does childish things here and there. So he's keeping a good attitude about it. Yeah, that's tough.
He just got paid a lot of money. He's good.
7:33. It's the WSJM morning show. How much money did you get? Did you get a lot? We don't know.
We'll find out in a second.
Yeah, we'll find out. All right. It's the WSJM morning show for Monday, April 28th. Back in a minute. We've got ABC News coming up after a check of financial news from Bloomberg.
What would you call a free account that helps you save automatically?
All right. Here we go. Back on the WSJM morning show video live stream. Thanks for joining us. Let's see. I'll get us back on track here. I'm still scratching my head on this Secret Service thing about the cabinet secretary. I mean, Kristi Noem, Secretary Noem. By the way, good morning to everyone on the video live stream. Bill says good morning. Mike says good morning to Bill. Diane says good morning. Mike says good morning to Diane.
Yep, I do.
Let's see. Bill says, I don't want to answer that because I would feel way old.
So before that, I said, do you guys remember Romper Room?
Oh, yeah.
Where he was like, I see Bill and I see Diane.
Oh, yeah,
remember the magic mirror?
I do remember. I think I remember there was a Romper Room, but I don't think I ever watched it.
What?
Did you watch it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
When was it on?
In the mornings.
Well, my reference of when things are on is it was either before sports or after news or something like that.
I think it was the beginning of like daytime television for kids.
Like on the Monday through Friday, or was it? Oh, okay. Interesting. Anyway, so you were saying, does anyone remember Romper Room?
Right. I remember being 5-6 years old and sitting in front of the TV, and she would bring up the
magic mirror
and say, I see
Are you
Kenny,
breathing? Are you
and
breathing?
I see, and I'd be in the TV like, okay, here I am, and then no mic, and I would be like, okay, obviously you were not looking. And I realized it was just a scam.
You were just talking to the TV, and
right,
it wouldn't talk back. So why were you asking about Romper Room?
Well, because every time somebody pops up on Facebook, it's like, oh, hey, Bill.
Oh, I see you,
hey,
and
Diane.
I see you. Okay.
So Facebook now is a modern day Romper Room.
Oh, very nice.
It's the analogy I was tying together with a bow.
I like your analogy. I do have challenges with it though. mean, because in Romper Room, everyone got along. I see my friends.
Right.
In Facebook, it's not like that.
But it is on WSJM.
It is on our WSJM
Right.
feed. Yes, very much so.
And I was thinking, because remember they used to have the little yellow buckets?
Yes.
Remember you walked on the little buckets that had little ropes?
Oh,
My
yeah.
cousin had
Yes.
those.
Yep. I loved those.
Yeah.
That was fun.
So we could get some, I could paint some 5-gallon buckets and we could do the Romper Room Rock on video.
Could we get
live
hemp
stream.
rope for it?
Sure.
Yeah, because that's strong
Yeah.
stuff. Okay.
Smoky hemp rope.
We watched apparently hemp when it was made into rope was not good to smoke. You basically just got a harsh cough and never got the delirium or whatever it is.
Oh, because
Yeah.
all the oils were gone, I guess.
I don't know. I think it was just stems. They were just using stems.
Oh.
And nobody
leaves.
apparently nobody likes the stems.
I
All right. What?
don't know.
7:36. We'll be right back. It's the WSJM morning show before we get into more trouble.
In some categories than others, according to data gathered by Bloomberg News. Meanwhile, the discount Chinese retail app Temu appears to be more than doubling the cost of some products sent to the U.S. Stocks rose 4 days in a row, including Friday of last week, following a sell-off a week ago today. The futures are slipping on this Monday morning. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
49 degrees under partly cloudy skies in Benton Harbor right now. St. Joseph, 49. South Haven, 48 degrees. Let's see what's happening out in Dowagiac. 49 degrees there. Niles, it's 49. Let's see. Eau Claire, 49 degrees as well. When I was in Wisconsin, good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. Over there is Mike Weibel. It's the WSJM Morning Show. Thanks for joining us. Thank you to those of you watching on the video live stream. When I was over in Wisconsin a couple weeks ago, everyone was saying Eau Claire.
Oh.
And all I wanted to do was correct them. But I knew I would be in the minority. Because Eau Claire, it just seems so much more natural to say Eau Claire than Eau Claire.
Eau Claire.
Yeah. They weren't talking about Michigan. They were talking about someplace in Wisconsin.
Yeah, there's one of those there.
Yeah. Anyway, 7:37. We've got more. What do you got? Anything?
I was just going to say the other thing is on that side of the lake, they'll say St. Joe's.
Oh, do they really?
Yes.
St. Joe's?
Joe's.
When they're talking about us?
Yes.
Oh.
I love it in St. Joe's. And I'm like, it's all right.
Why do they do that? Are they slurring over spoiled cheese or what's going on?
Well, at first I thought it was like a passive aggressive thing about Illinois.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not. They just say
That's
it
what they
wrong.
say.
Right.
Like Myers.
So then I'll say, yeah. And so I said, well, I like Illinois too. And they look at you like, is that a shot? Yeah.
All right. Partly sunny skies expected today. We do have sunshine out there right now. It's beautiful. A high around 77 degrees. Tonight's forecast, partly cloudy, only a 30% chance of showers, low of 67. Winds out of the south, 10 to 20 miles per hour, picking up with some gusts up to 30. And then tomorrow's forecast, partly cloudy. It's going to be a 60% chance of showers and storms tomorrow with a high around 78. West winds 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusting to 45 miles per hour. We're going to keep an eye on that because we could have some severe thunderstorms in
That's
an
what they're
isolated
predicting.
manner.
Yes.
In that area. All right, we've got more to come. It's the WSJM Morning Show. Our local news tease is coming up after this from ABC.
ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. The Vatican says the papal conclave to elect a successor to Pope Francis will begin Wednesday, May 7th. But the process may not conclude on May 7th, as ABC's Terry Moran explains from the Vatican.
Once all the cardinals have voted, the ballots are counted, read aloud, and noted. The votes are then burned in an iron stove at the end of a session. Black smoke signals that no one reached the two-thirds majority required to be elected. If that happens, the cardinals return to vote twice in the morning and twice in the evening.
In Florida, one person was killed, 12 others were hurt. They were on a ferry in Clearwater that was hit by another boat, which left the scene but has since been located. Congress is back in session today. Republicans say their priority is passing a budget bill by the end of May. President Trump's comments about Canada have become a key issue in that country's national election. Canadians today choosing a new prime minister. This is ABC News.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
7:40. It's the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me is Mike Weibel. Mike, a quick follow-up on Shedeur Sanders. He got drafted by the Cleveland Browns. How much is his contract?
Roughly $4.6 million.
$4.6 million over 4 years?
Yep.
Okay. That's not bad as a rookie.
No.
You get a $4.5 million contract. I wonder if they're banking on the Dion effect.
I'm sure they are.
Number one, he's got Shador has his own athletic ability. Number two, he's got a dad who knows what's going on. Maybe he'll show up at the practice.
But they also said that's kind of what possibly held him back for getting drafted higher.
Oh,
was because Dion kind of wants to be in the locker room with his son all the time.
Oh,
so he kind of
people didn't want that.
I guess he kind of expressed that he would like to be a professional coach on an NFL team with his son.
Oh, nobody wanted that.
No. So I think they were like, we already have quarterback coaches, so
And
we're good.
Cleveland said, well, couldn't hurt.
Right. He'll never want to lose to Cleveland.
Yeah, right? Oh, no. All right, some of the news that we have coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. A Cassopolis man is dead after a single car crash over the weekend. The Cass County Sheriff's Office reports it happened Saturday morning, just before 8 o'clock. Deputies responded to the single vehicle rollover in the area of Mud Lake Street and Penn Road in Penn Township. Deputies say the vehicle was driven by 71-year-old David Dussel. It was eastbound on Mud Lake Street when his vehicle left the roadway, hit a tree, and rolled. They say alcohol was not believed to be a factor, and investigators say the man was not wearing a seatbelt at the time of the crash. Other news stories that we'll bring you at 8 o'clock. President Donald Trump set to make his first trip back to Michigan since winning the election. That's happening over on the east side tomorrow. It represents the first 100 days in office. So the president going to be at a rally there. Not everyone happy with the first 100 days of the Trump administration. A new group called Southwest Michigan Indivisible held a town hall here locally on Friday to talk about what their new policies are doing at the local level. We'll talk about that story and a whole lot more. It's all coming up right here on the WSJM Morning Show. It's 7:42. We have sports coming up next with Dave Wolf right after this from Michigan News Network.
The Michigan News Network.
All right. Back on topics of stuff that we're talking about this morning. So we hit the purse thing. We talked about Columbus Day coming back. Dun, 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 dun. You know, I mean, even in recent years in Washington, D.C. and other areas, you saw statues representing Christopher Columbus or thereabouts getting vandalized, torn down, blood thrown on them on a regular basis. So
right.
I can only imagine what in the world is going to happen if President Trump reinstates, as he says he is, Columbus Day as a holiday.
Do you remember when they were, after all of that was going on and they were tearing down Columbus statues and whatnot? And there was, I think it was in Boston, and there was a big statue, and there were a bunch of Italian guys showed up with bats and whatnot to protect the statue. They were not taking the desecration of Columbus lightly.
Yikes. This just coming in from Associated Press. A major power outage has been reported in Spain and Portugal, including their capitals. The Spanish power generator Red Electria says the Iberian Peninsula was affected. I mean, that's the whole area there, Spain and Portugal. It says the incident is being assessed and responded to. The countries have a combined population of over 50 million people. Not immediately clear how many people are affected in this outage. That's crazy.
It's a big one.
Spain and Portugal, including their capitals, without power. Wonder what's going on there. Somebody blew a fuse.
Yeah.
They ran the hairdryer and the toaster oven at the same time.
Squirrel got it.
There was a squirrel.
Ay caramba.
Like that. That's not what they say. Like we were talking about last week, the squirrel that got into our internet lines.
Yes.
And by the way, our internet is so much better now.
Oh, well, it should be.
It's so much better now that it's not
frying a squirrel for
not getting blocked by let's see, what else do we have going on here? What?
You know, it's a beautiful day. Spring is here.
Yeah.
But I found that there are 5 things that people hate about spring.
Okay, pollen has to be on that list.
It's number 1, actually.
Okay. Sorry.
Allergies and pollen overload.
Okay.
Unpredictable weather.
Okay.
Today would qualify for that.
In like a lion, out like a lamb. Yep. Got it.
Insect invasions.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. I saw the news stories over the weekend. Ticks are back.
Ticks are back.
Nobody invited them, but they're here.
They're back with the fury, as well as the ladybugs and the wasps, the carpenter bees.
Who minds ladybugs? Ladybugs are nice.
They are, as long as they are the good ladybugs, but there's bad ladybugs.
Yeah, and you are correct. There are invasive species that look like ladybugs,
Right.
but they're not ladybugs.
Right.
And they can bite.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, all right.
So
What else?
They're not ladies.
They're not very nice.
No. And then, of course, you and I can relate to seasonal chores.
Yes. Yeah.
That's kind of a bummer from time to time.
Yep.
And then, of course, can't forget about daylight savings time. That's always a spring bummer because we spring forward.
Oh,
lose an hour.
Yeah, we did that.
And then, of course, in Southwest Michigan, we love our tourists.
Yes, we do.
But we hate them all at the same time.
Yes. I will say this. It's their driving that annoys me the most.
Yeah. And
They're
the
driving.
crowds. You know, I mean,
yeah.
You know, you get Silver Beach Pizza in the summertime and
With
it's got
the
a
good-
2-3 hour wait to get in.
There's good and bad because I have to imagine we wouldn't have the variety of the things that we have available to us here without that population that descends in the good and sometimes the not so good weather. I mean, I'm starting to see license plates from out of the area more and more all year round.
Right. I am too.
All year round.
Indiana, a lot of Indiana. We used to be Illinois, but now it's Indiana, New York.
Do you think we can set up a border patrol between Indiana and Michigan? Would that be all right?
I think we could.
Okay.
And then do a tax them when they come over.
Now
And then-
we're really getting in trouble.
And then when they go back and they got weed, we arrest them.
Oh, don't give anyone any ideas. Oh my goodness. Yeah. That's another story. That reminds me of another story I've got to look into.
You have new meaning to the word gumshoe.
Gumshoe.
Yeah, cops were gumshoes.
Oh, like gummies?
Yeah,
gummy shoes.
Gummy shoes.
Your Band-Aid's coming off a little bit on your
Is
right.
it?
On your right. Your right. There you go.
All
Paste
right.
it down. Paste it down. Anyway, for anyone wondering about Mike's new mustache there, he's trying to grow in a mustache. And because he has only peach fuzz on his upper lip, he's
Yes.
decided to cover it with a Band-Aid.
I suggested doing it with a Sharpie and but Ken said no.
Did you just grab Heidi's razor? Is that what happened?
No,
Come on, fess up.
no, she's got her own. But I did. So you know,
What
there's
kind of razor do you use?
I don't know. What's that? The disruptor of razors. Was it Dave's or whatever?
I don't know.
Yeah.
One of those
Yeah.
mail order ones.
No, you can get them at Walgreens.
Oh, okay.
Stuff like that. But you know, you get a razor, and when in the beginning it's crazy sharp, and then as time goes by, it gets where you can kind of horse it around and be pretty aggressive with it, and it's fine. Then it gets to the point where it's just too bad, and then I make the switch. But if you've been horsing it and you make the switch and forget, you end up with a Band-Aid on your lip.
I am hopeful that it does not hurt.
Well, not now, but
Okay. We've got to get back to the show. We'll be right back. It's the
We
WSJM
digress.
morning show.
Partly sunny skies today, and we're warming back up. We're going to see high temperatures around 75 this afternoon. We'll see increasing clouds this evening, and then late overnight, we'll see a chance of a few rain showers. We stay at 67 for the overnight low. Then tomorrow, a mix of the sun and clouds, but off and on showers and storms as well. High temperatures right around 78. I'm WSBT 22 Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
It's 49 degrees in Benton Harbor right now, 50 in St. Joseph, 49 in South Haven. It's 7:49. And this weekend, I was grousing about how cold it was on Saturday. And I think I have okay justification for that. Because when I looked at the temperature thing, the feels like on Saturday when we got outside to do yard work was 25.
oh yeah,
The feels like was 25 on Saturday morning.
yeah,
Sunday, beautiful day.
It was.
Picture perfect day, and hopefully today will be the same.
heavy frost on Sunday morning though.
I did not wake up to frost to see frost.
No, there was frost.
There was frost. It's time for the Moody on the Market update. It's brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today. They are your local auto owners insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. Talking about Girls on the Run of Southwest Michigan. They're going to host their Celebration 5K on Friday, May 2nd. And the running course is going to be starting at Whirlpool Global Headquarters, north of Benton Harbor on M63. In a news release, the group explained that the event wraps up a dynamic program where 3rd through 8th grade girls discover their inner strength through fun running, games, lively discussions, and team building activities. It's designed to spark confidence, forge friendships, and inspire community spirit. Girls on the Run blends physical activity with life-changing lessons that prepare girls for a lifetime of bold possibilities. If you've ever been involved in one of the Girls on the Run events, it's a great program.
Yeah.
It's a very good program. And this Celebration 5K is open to the public. There's a $30 registration fee. All proceeds support Girls on the Run of Southwest Michigan. Last year, they had more than 1,000 participants, which is great. That's a great turnout, including program girls, families, community members. They all joined the event. It's a non-timed fun run. It begins at 6 p.m. with girls and families requested to arrive by 5 p.m. and community runners by 5:30. A warm-up and short program starts at 5:40. For more details on that and how to register, you can get the website and all the information, pertinent information right there at moodyonthemarket.com. Girls on the Run to host their annual Celebration 5K Friday evening. Moody on the Market is brought to you by Moody on the Market Update. That is brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today. They are your local auto owners insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. More to come. It's the WSJM Morning Show.
United Way of Southwest Michigan asked our communities to step up and help Dolly Parton's Imagination Library during last month's national.
What are you looking up over there? What do you got going on? What are you doing?
I got
What's going
something
on?
going on.
Did you have anything good to eat over the weekend? I'm hungry.
Friday we went to Rybel's for dinner.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that was good.
What'd you get? Steak?
No, I got
Caesar salad?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It was my wife's birthday, so
Oh, that's right. How did it go?
It was good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was fun.
What did she have for her birthday meal? Do you recall?
She had the walleye.
Oh.
She really looks forward to their walleye.
Very nice.
Yep.
That sounds fun.
And she didn't eat it all, and I ate the other half of it.
You were like the Secret Service, hovering just close enough to nudge the fish over to your area.
Well, I waited a day.
Oh, you waited a day.
Yeah.
All right. You gonna eat any more of that?
Yeah. Well, there's some times where she'll be like, "You want to trade plates?" And I'm like, "Okay."
That's fun. We usually do the sharing of meals.
Oh yeah.
So it's like we'd like that entree, and those appetizers, and 2 empty plates, please, because we're gonna share.
So when we go to places, especially like if we go to Florida, a lot of times we'll do our own, we'll call it an appetizer crawl.
Oh, yum.
So we'll go from like bar to bar and then get an appetizer and then go to the next, get an appetizer. And that's where we do dinner. And it's, you kind of get the best of, going, hey, what's your hot appetizer?
Yeah.
And
What's
like,
what are you good at?
Right.
Give us
Fun.
that.
Right.
That sounds good. That reminds me of a place we went to down in, I think it was in Sarasota, Florida.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it was, but it was a little hole in the wall on a back street. And when we got there, which was about 20 minutes before opening, there was already a line.
Oh, yeah.
Like 20 people deep. And we lined up and people lined up after us and we got in there. It was so good. It was a seafood restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And we just loaded up. Clams, oysters. Can't remember what else. Fish, French fries. Yeah, it's good stuff.
But after doing it several times, let's see, we have our favorite place to get oysters, favorite place to get grouper nuggets, our favorite place to get
horsey sauce?
No, hush puppies.
Oh, hush puppies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Realize hush puppies are not just your average little cornball. They can be really well done, which is amazing.
Yeah, they have to be well done because otherwise they're just a gut bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking of baking or making food snack
or gut bombs,
I made this weekend with sourdough starter that a friend of Stephanie's had left in our refrigerator as a favor.
Yeah.
Which was good stuff. I took it out to feed it, and in the feeding process, you get a little bit of discard for the sourdough starter.
Yeah.
And she said you should probably turn it into crackers. And so I looked up a recipe and I found a Cheez-It recipe, homemade Cheez-Its.
Really?
Oh my gosh, they turned out so good. We ate a half a block of cheese, cheddar cheese, because you make the recipe. It called for, I don't know, like 78 grams of starter and 30 grams of flour and a block of cheese. Just grate it up into it, and it was so good. But you just bake them for like 18 minutes and 15 to 18 minutes. And there you go. And Homemade Cheez-Its. They are the bomb. All right, more in a moment. It's the WSJM Morning Show.
Trust the people that care, who know how to do it right the first time. All you need to do is work with McGee's once to see the difference, and they'll be the first call every time. Feel at ease with McGee's. Call today for your estimate. Feel at ease with McGee's. Your local Bryant Factory authorized dealer.
From the Pat Moody Studios, this is WSJM-FM Benton Harbor St. Joseph, a product of Midwest Family Marketing and Media. Proudly serving our community. The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
7:56 WSJM Morning Show continues. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. With me is Mike Weibel. We are causing all kinds of trouble on the video live stream. And now I'm hungry again.
Yeah, well,
because we were talking about my homemade Cheez-Its that I made over the weekend. They were good. They were super good. I didn't have the little pasta cutter that it called for in the recipe to make the edges crinkly, but I did have a pizza slicer thing, and we were able to do that. And then the fun part, and I let Stephanie do this, or I asked her to do it, she did it, is using a toothpick to poke a hole in the top of each one before you bake them so the air escapes.
A little eye in the goldfish.
Yes. I didn't have a goldfish thing, but you could also use the recipe for that. And even the dough for that, before I rolled it out, tasted like Cheez-It. It was so good. It's so good. All right. Let's see. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
You ready? We have new people that are going to get inducted. Who? You ready?
Yep.
Let's see. First time nominees Chubby Checker, Joe Cocker, and Bad Company will be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That class will also include pop star Cyndi Lauper.
Okay.
Hip hop pioneers Outkast, which I think is just like one dude. The rock duo.
Two dudes.
Is it two dudes?
Yeah.
Who is it?
I don't know, but it's two dudes.
There's the one guy who it's like the Polaroid picture thing, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's that one. I like that song. The rock duo, the White Stripes, which would be Jack White and Meg.
Yep.
And then grunge masters Soundgarden. Salt and Peppa, the first female rap act to achieve gold and platinum status, and the late singer-songwriter Warren Zevon will get the Musical Influence Award. The late record producer Tom Bell, pianist Nicky Hopkins, and bassist Carol Kay will each get the Musical Excellence Award.
Nice.
Yeah, the late Joe Cocker, who sang at Woodstock and was best known for his cover of the Beatles with a little help from my friends, had the backing of Billy Joel, Billy Gibbons of ZZ Top, and Pete Thomas, a member of Elvis Costello and the Attractions, who said that Cocker was about as rock and roll gets. Soundgarden, with late lead singer Chris Cornell, will get into the Hall of Fame. This is their third nomination. They follow two other grunge groups that got into the Hall of Fame: Nirvana and Pearl Jam. Obviously, Bad Company. Obviously radio fixtures with arena rock staples like Feel Like Making Love, Can't Get Enough, and Rock and Roll Fantasy. So anyway, rock and roll.
Cool stuff.
Yeah, good stuff. You ever been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
I have not.
Me either. That's all I got.
Is it on your list?
No, it's not. It's not. I just listen to the radio. I mean, that's all I need. That's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is the radio.
I could see where going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame would sort of be like going to a work Hall of Fame for you. It's all about radio.
Well, no, I mean,
broadcasting.
I enjoy music. I love music.
Sure.
I love all kinds of music, even some country. Even some country. Some country. Like the old stuff is really good. Anyway, all right, we've got more to talk about. We've got our news coming up from the WSJM newsroom in a couple of minutes. You have anything good over there?
I'm looking up the duo known as Outkast.
Oh, okay. All right, fine. You call them a duo. I think
that's what they call them, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's what it says here.
Andre 3000 and Big Boy are the two.
Yeah, nobody talks about Big Boy. It's all Andre 3000.
Well,
he's the guy who can shake it like a Polaroid picture. Okay, it's now 8:00. We've got the latest world and national news from ABC.
From ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. The Vatican says